Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. We're here at Play Ball Sports Cards in Arlington, and I'm with this guy. What's your name again?
It's my show, Mike. Okay, so we talked about we're at Play Ball Sports Cards in Arlington.
Great shop.
This place is amazing. By the way, we've got some cool footage we can run here. If you're in Arlington, Texas, make sure to come by and check out Play Ball. Ask for Mike, not this Mike, but the Mike owner here. He's awesome. Hey, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You don't live too far from here.
No, we're practically neighbors, you and
I. No. Who's closer? Did you say?
You're closer.
Am I? Okay. I was thinking you're closer.
Maybe I'm closer. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it definitely matters. All right, man. So I have a interesting topic for us to talk about today.
Great.
I want to talk to you about hobby burnout. And you, we've both been collecting for a long time, but you've been collecting long enough to where I've got to think you've hit some patches of burnout from time to time. Is that true?
It's real. Burnout is real, or can be real. Sure. So I started collecting in 1981. And I've not stopped. I've had periods where I collected less, mainly financial constraints, not because I didn't love the sport or love buying cards or whatever, just periods of life where it was just harder to do that. So I've just kind of gone straight through. But people, you hear about it all the time, right?
Sure.
They get burnt out on
It's usually
the
a
hobby.
thread on blowout.
Right.
Somebody's suffering from severe burnout, which it's natural. Like, it's a weird thing with collectors is it's so often that you see somebody goes just all in. You know, it's not just a hobby that they mess with from time to time on the weekends. Like, it is something they're buying and selling and trading every day. You know, it might be they're making content. It might be they're just assembling sets. Like,
that makes sense. And then what else would you expect, right?
Right. It's a bunch of obsessive people in the hobby we love.
So let's talk about what keeps you from being burnt out.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I would think, for me, the biggest things are that I love baseball. And so that core love of the game itself makes the hobby an ancillary kind of byproduct of loving the sport. I think if you don't love the sport, like if I collected a sport that I wasn't truly passionate about, let's say soccer, not that there's anything wrong, if people are passionate about soccer, that's awesome. I'm simply not. If I collected soccer cards, I could get burnt out pretty quick.
Right.
Because there's no underlying love that can keep that flowing, you know? And so my love of baseball makes me love collecting baseball cards that much more. That's why I don't collect basketball. Even though I like basketball, I love the NFL.
It's not the
College,
same
it's just not the same passion.
Yeah.
And so,
go ahead.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. I was going to say, I've personally gone through like 3 periods of burnout, like serious burnout that I can remember, where I literally went through and like sold my entire collection and started over. And that was going to bring me to my point of something to keep in mind when you're trying to avoid hobby burnout is keeping a focus. And I think it also plays off of what you said, but it's so important to have a focus, whether that's a sport or a player or a particular set or a year, whatever it might be. I mean, that's the great thing about the hobby is there's so many different ways you can collect. But I think it's important to have a narrow focus, if you will. Maybe not super narrow, but at least some sort of focus. Otherwise, there's so much product out there, so many fun players to collect, so many cool sets to collect. It can be overwhelming. It can be expensive. It can be stressful. Frankly, it's a hobby, so it should never become stressful, but it definitely has become stressful for people before. Hey, I want to tell you guys about a new sponsor we have at the Bench Clear Sports Card Network. They're called StarStock. You can check them out at starstock.com. You can go to the site, you can sell, you can buy, you can collect, you can invest. It's really cool. I suggest getting in early. There's some great deals there. I've been selling Luka Doncic rookies. I've sold more than half of my inventory already. Check them out at starstock.com.
I agree with the focus, and yet I think another way to avoid burnout is to have multiple projects that you can change among. You know, if you get tired of one thing, you can move to another. If you have several kind of projects going on at the same time, for me, it's Hall of Fame, either cards or autographs. And so I have different niches within that I can go, okay, I'm going to work on this for a little bit and look for those and hunt for those. And then when I get either burnout or I get frustrated because I can't find what I'm looking for, which is another, that creates burnout because you end up not being able to find what you're looking for.
You're frustrated because you hit a plateau.
Right. What am I going to do now? And so if you have, again, it's balancing the focus and the variety.
Right.
Variety is the spice of life, and so the idea is to have some variety in your projects so that it keeps you, man, I'm going to get excited about this, whatever it is, and then I'm going to move on to something else when it gets too much.
So something else, another topic I wanted to bring up was budget restraints. So I think something important to keep in mind to avoid hobby burnout is to never go outside your budget. You know, and it's easy to do. If you're on social media or if you visit the, blowout forums, all the great forums that are out there, you see people posting wildly awesome and expensive cards. And if you're a collector like me, you see those and you naturally become jealous and FOMO sets in, and it can lead people to buying cards that they can't afford. And I think that's when the hobby becomes stressful, is when you go outside your means, you put cards on credit and you start racking up debt, and it can happen so easy. If you have a credit card, a new release comes out like National Treasures or something that's really expensive, and you see people opening it and you get wrapped up in wanting to open it yourself. It's really easy to get yourself in trouble, and obviously, again, this is a hobby. Like, you don't want to put this ahead of your personal finances.
For sure.
Have you ever gotten in trouble with spending too much money?
No, but
is Julie watching this?
She will be. No, I've been incredibly cost conscious. I mean, I'm a financial planner is my
That's
career.
That's a good point. Yeah,
so
Unfair advantage.
If I didn't keep myself figured out, I'd be in trouble. But Julie and I have just, it's important, I think, to talk to your spouse or significant other or whatever. Have somebody that can keep you accountable to not spending too much.
Yeah.
And, just common sense, because the minute you overspend and you have that stress come in, then the hobby's not fun anymore, right? It adds a level of discontent that you're just angry. You're like, I get this credit card bill or whatever that I've overspent, and all I had to show for it is I spent $500 on this box and I get $200 worth of cards, which is incredibly common.
Oh,
and
more
you're
common
like,
than not.
Well, I got to pay this $500 bill and only have $200 worth of cards to do it. And what's the point of opening a box if you're not going to keep the card? You know what I mean? If you're not collecting them. And
what's the point of having a hobby if it's stressing you out? Like,
right.
The hobby is supposed to be the anti-stress. This is supposed to be something to get you out of that work stress or whatever's going on. You have a sick family member. Like, being able to turn to the hobby is a nice escape for a little while. And if that escape has gotten you into financial trouble, it's not much of an escape.
If you can just think this one idea, if you take nothing away from this video other than this thought, that this hobby, again, I've been doing it for almost 40 years, it is a marathon and not a sprint. And I think too many guys get into it and they go into sprint mode and they burn out. If you think of it like a marathon, you have to pace yourself, right?
Yeah.
To run a marathon. And you have to think it's the long game. It's where am I going to be? My collection's not anywhere where it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I've loved that journey and enjoyed that journey because I've paced myself through it and not just
a slow, steady progression.
Yeah, just think about it like a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, that's a great point.
We're gonna open some packs?
Yeah, we are. I got a couple more points I want to cover.
Okay, fine.
So I think this is important.
I'm just looking at this box and I'm getting
hobby
excited.
burnout is real. Like, it's real. You and I have both gone through it at some point in time. I think something people need to be careful of is buying cards you don't actually like.
Oh my gosh,
Buying
yes.
cards that you see other people buying, and you're like, you just, again, it's FOMO, really, but you want to buy those because you see other people collecting these cards, but you don't have any personal collection. Like you were saying, soccer, nothing wrong with soccer. A lot of people collect soccer cards, but you don't have a personal connection to that. And that is important to stay connected to your hobby and to passion, and not just buy stuff just so you can say you have one. Because you know, that you could get yourself in financial trouble, and you just, eventually you're gonna end up selling it because you didn't really want it all that bad in the first place.
You want to explain what FOMO is, by the way? Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. So it's when you pull up the blowout forums and you see, you know, a pickup thread and everybody's picking up, you know, these awesome new cards that you didn't care anything about prior to seeing that thread. You might want to think about picking those up until you know you actually want to collect those. And finally, I think sometimes, and it's hilarious for me to say, I think unopened product brings a lot of people to burnout a lot of times. And I'm somebody who loves opening packs and boxes as much as anybody, but it's tough to keep up with all the new unopened product coming out. The new stuff is really expensive. You know, it's just, our hobby is just, it's blowing up right now, and prices have risen. So if you're trying to buy a box of every new product that comes out, it's really tough to do that. So just be careful how far you go down that road. Maybe it's a couple packs of that product, maybe it's a box, but if you're picking up cases and you know, everything because you want to be, or maybe you're doing group breaks, and that, you know, that's a slippery slope too. I love group breakers, but again, if you're going beyond your means, it can suck the fun right out of your hobby. So with that said, let's open up some.
Okay.
Let's open up some packs.
Great.
So I have a treat for us today. This is not 84 Topps baseball. This is 84 O-Pee-Chee baseball.
Ooh.
I have been a fan of the Canadian Topps forever, and I just love this set. The Mattingly rookie is in this set. It's a smaller set. I want to say it's about half the size of the normal 84 Topps. But Mattingly's in here, Darryl Strawberry's in here. You got the second year of Boggs and Sandberg.
When you open boxes of O-Pee-Chee, you start speaking in French. Did you know that?
Do I?
Oui.
And
That's it. That was all my French.
Yeah. Close out that gag. Okay, so this was a BBC wrapped box. I should show that because we love the baseball card exchange. They do a good job of authenticating.
Is it from a sealed case, or is it?
It is not. I think this is just, yeah. So let's each take a row out of there.
Oh, the gum.
Oh yeah. So the gum is probably gonna be melted right on these. Here,
Oh, I wanted that.
for you.
one.
Oh, well, we can switch.
These are not the good ones.
Okay, you grab yours. We'll see.
I love 84 Topps. So
Yeah.
this
Good
is-
luck. Hey, we gotta shake hands before we get into this.
All right, good luck.
All right, good luck. Here we go.
May you pull giant Mattingly cards.
I love this Mattingly.
So, if you notice, if you've ever opened 84 Topps itself or any early, this wax is different. The paper is different on the O-Pee-Chee cards too.
Is it really?
Yeah. A little bit. Oh, that's just wonderful.
Yeah. That the good
Oh, at
news
least
is
it's the bonus card.
there's a game card in there that's taken one for the team because it's
that
getting
is
all the gum.
fantastic. Thank goodness.
So that gum is melted right on there.
Brand new Hall of Famer Ted Simmons, first card.
Did
Was
he
that
get in
long
as a
enough?
coach? Because Ted Simmons did not get in as a player.
He absolutely got in as a player.
No way.
Way.
Ted Simmons?
Yes.
Come on.
Don't,
Was he like a
Look, I didn't
people's
vote
choice?
for him. I'm just.
Okay. Nolan Ryan?
Ooh, wait. If you have
Very
Nolan
close.
Ryan, that looks like the rookie
Oh,
card.
yeah. Nice.
And you can put the Nolan Ryan, Jerry Koosman right above it. There you
So,
go. Sorry, that was too
no, but that's
coincidental.
great. So if you don't know, the 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie, it's a two-person card, he and Jerry Koosman. Jerry Koosman is also known as the other guy on Nolan Ryan's rookie card.
Right.
Okay, oh, hey, I've got a would you rather for you, I think.
Great. Let's go.
Would you rather, Mike,
Yes.
have
Yes.
no,
Oh, sorry.
come on, man. Have a 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie in a PSA 10 or a BGS 10. And before you say anything, folks at home are thinking, well, BGS 10 is supposed to be more rare. Mike only collects PSA, so where are you at on this one?
I would be a PSA 10.
Really? So you would take it over the BGS 10
All
when
day.
you could take that and you could potentially sell that and buy a PSA 10 and
Yes.
actually, I don't know that because would be curious to know if a BGS 10 Nolan Ryan rookie even exists.
It might.
That's a tough card. I mean, PSA 10 alone, I don't think there is more than 10 copies of that in a PSA 10, is there?
I'm really excited that the game card is taking the gum stain.
Me too, yeah.
I cannot tell you.
Because if you've ever opened older wax and it's been around any sort of heat or humidity, the gum in the pack will absolutely ruin at least one card.
You got the
So it'll stick through, it'll bleed through. It's, yeah. Got both the breaths.
Can you get an entire set through one box of O-Pee-Chee?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's totally possible.
I love how the O-Pee-Chee cards, so, all right, check this out. You got Goose Gossage in a Yankees uniform, but it says now with Padres, and so it's got the Padres logo, the Padres name, and they do that on the O-Pee-Chees, not on the tops.
Yeah, so something you may or may not know about O-Pee-Chee is they are very well known for this rough cut coming straight out of a factory. They, it looks like it's a bad border, but it's really just their factory cutting standards were not quite up to. Sweet, man, you were pulling heat.
Darryl Strawberry rookie card.
They are not quite up to the standards that the flagship tops had. And so a lot of times they had really rough borders and actually pretty beautiful if you learn to love them. And a lot of times the grading companies won't count against those rough borders on O-Pee-Chee because it's a factory cut. Are you kidding me? Man.
He's never inviting me back. Never.
Hey, I'm just happy somebody pulled those. I don't mind. Let's put those on the. Oh, you got your own star pile. Sweet.
Hall
Look
of
how
Famer
tall
pile.
your star pile is.
How tall is yours? Not very tall.
It's like 4 cards tall.
Genetics.
Man, this is. So, Mike, do you include O-Pee-Chee in your collection, or are you
Only
all tops?
on some player collections, like the Nolan Ryan player run, things like that.
Ooh, I might have an 84
I saw that.
O-Pee-Chee for it. Do you have that yet?
I don't know.
So here is the Ripken. That's the 3rd year Cal Ripken, but I love this card. That one is baked in my head since childhood. This shot of him at batting practice.
Love it.
Yeah.
I really like the look of these. I mean,
yeah. 84 Tops is a classic look.
and the back is a little bit, like, compared to a normal Topps card, it's more washed out looking,
It's got a different
I guess.
color.
Is
Yeah,
that-
it's a different card stock.
yeah, it's totally different card stock.
Ooh, man, we killed it. Half the box. Got the Rhino, 2nd year.
Ripken All-Star.
Just pulling everything.
Man,
This is great.
here you
You
go.
need to come on the show
Willie
more
Wilson.
often. Thank you.
For you.
We're going to show Willie Wilson because guy was a speed demon back in the day, and because we love the Royals around here.
Remember, he had Frank White, Amos Otis. Trying to think other early, obviously Brett.
Steve Balboni, bye-bye Balboni.
Steve, bye-bye Balboni. Mr. Surgery.
If you're a player, do you want to be famous because they named a rotator cuff surgery after you?
Probably not.
Isn't a rotator cuff surgery? Am I right?
It
Yeah,
is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, not.
Like, how about you name a ballpark after me or something? But you don't name a surgery that. I guess people now come back from Tommy John surgery stronger than they were before they had it.
Yes.
Right. That's pretty common.
Here's the great Joe Morgan in a Phillies uniform, but now with the Athletics. So Topps would come out
confusing.
with traded cards, right, in '84. So all the, like Joe Morgan has his '84 Topps card is with the Phillies, then his '84 Topps traded is with the A's.
Yep.
O-Pee-Chee just said, we'll just kind of Frankenstein the card, and I love it. I'm out.
Hey, me too. Hey, man, that was awesome though.
We got
killed
the,
it.
yeah, we got the, who all did we get? The Mattingly.
everything. Hey, tell the peeps where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at Baseball Collector Mike, and on YouTube with the Bench Clear Media Network. Proud member of the crew with you.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't already. There's a button right down here, and we will see you next time.
Da, da, da.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
In the first pack I opened,
It is Florida
Neon
State
Dion
uniform.
rookie card. Hey guys, thanks for checking out another episode of PackGeek. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks.
PackGeek.